this is the system that I have used to get us from paycheck to paycheck to no longer paycheck to paycheck. It's Thursday, which means it's time to budget. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph. It is great to meet you. I post a whole bunch of stuff all really around living a budget-friendly life that you love and that doesn't feel like complete torture. So that includes vlogs, stuff about side hustles, obviously our no buy year journey, grocery hauls, budget groceries, budget meals, all that kind of stuff. And I also post even more content over on my Instagram and my TikTok. You can find links in the description below. But today I wanted to walk you through how I budget. We budget every single fortnight. We don't track our expenses in between, and I want to show you how we do that and how we manage that while still staying in spending limits for specific categories. So we do a system that I like to call digital cash envelopes. I don't think I came up with that, but anyway, that's what we call it. We originally tried the OG cash envelope system years ago, and I just could not maintain the actual action of going and getting cash out every fortnight. It's just not something I personally could manage. So I now do this digital option, and when we first started this, we were with ING, so we were only able to have, I think, 8 different accounts all up, or maybe 8 savings accounts all up. We've since moved to Upbank. You will see exactly why I love them so much and get a glimpse at the app later on in this video, because I'm going to actually walk you through the spreadsheet that I used, that I made, and an actual budgeting session because I need to budget today. And then we're also going to dive into the actual transferring into all the digital cash envelopes in my banking app. So you're going to see my banking app, at least some of it, because, you know, privacy, but some of it. We're now with Upbank, and Upbank lets you have almost unlimited savers. I think you can have up to 50, and I don't think we would ever need that many, but we do have, I think, over 20 different accounts at this point, and it has been honestly life-changing. It's so good. So I highly recommend whatever bank you go with, see if you can find one if you're wanting to try this out. I obviously recommend Upbank, but if you don't want to go with Upbank, see if you can find one where they allow you to have as many different savings accounts as you would need for all your cash envelopes. If you do want to try Upbank out, by the way, I do have a referral link. I'll put it in the description, and basically it gets you $15 the minute you sign up. So I think some referral systems with banks, you have to do a certain amount of transactions first. You don't have to do any of that. The minute you've signed up, it takes like 3 or 4 minutes to sign up. The minute you sign up, your referral bonus is in your brand new account. So I think it's a really cool system because it means that you can play around with the app, see if it's for you before you have to actually transfer your money in, all that kind of stuff. You can try it out before you actually like commit, which is my kind of style. Anyway, this is the system that I have used to get us from paycheck to paycheck to no longer paycheck to paycheck. We've saved our emergency fund now. We are just starting to work on our debt snowball as of today, which is so exciting. You're going to see some of that in this video. It's been a wild journey. My husband and I are doing our second no buy year this year. So we did our first full no buy year in 2024, and it was life-changing, honestly, so life-changing that we decided to do it again. So I'll talk about that a little bit more again in this video, but all I can say is it's been a wild financial journey. It's taken us years to get here. This did not happen overnight. So if you are feeling like your finances are out of control and you have no control over them, they're controlling you, I've been there, I get it. Like I said, it's taken us 5 years of slowly like starting to budget and getting rid of impulse spending and all of that. 5 years to get from no budget to where we are now, where we're no buy year. We're very strict with what we spend, but it feels so good now, and I actually really enjoy doing the no buy year. I'd say like 80% of the time. Obviously there's still times where I would love to buy something that's not strictly necessary or not strictly needed, but they're fleeting moments compared to everything else, and it's so nice to actually feel financially secure and safe and not be stressed, because I've spent the last like 10 years of my life being stressed about finances and not having enough money to make ends meet. So being here now is wild. So anyway, let's get on with the budgeting. Okay, so let's dive into the spreadsheet. So as you can see down the bottom here, I already have a couple of things, a couple of tabs created, a couple of new sheets. Part of the reason that I've done that is because I've got a couple of big expenses that I want to factor in for the next few budgets, and I don't want to forget about them. So if anything ever comes up like that, I'll make a new spreadsheet for the coming budget. Otherwise, if there's nothing like that, and I'll just click duplicate from the last one, rename it for the date. So obviously today is February 27th. And then I just come in here and I clear everything. So I've cleared all of those. They're not green anymore. I'll show you why they turn green in a second. And I've cleared the income, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty much a blank spreadsheet at the moment, which is great, except for the little bits of misc spending that I've put in here just to kind of factor in ahead of time. So I knew I got the Vodafone bill probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and I knew it would be due in this budget, so I came in and put it into this spreadsheet. So this is my budget spreadsheet, by the way. I should have prefaced that. This is my budget spreadsheet. This is the one that you can actually buy. I'll link it down below if you are curious. It's also linked just everywhere generally. I also have a new version coming, or I should say an additional version coming. This is based on either one single person's expenses or combined income. Matt and I combine our income, but I do have some people that either are in like a share house, and so they've got their own personal bills, but they've also got shared bills, or they live with their partner and they don't combine their income. Whatever it is, I've got a spreadsheet coming that's basically this, just tweaked a little bit to factor that in. So it's got an additional bills tracker. So this is the bills tracker that's in the spreadsheet. These are our bills for the month. So thankfully they're not too high at all, only $272.02 of bills, which is fantastic. But now that I think about it, I actually need to update this one. Apple Music is now $19.99 because we were on a student plan and we are no longer on a student plan. So that tried to come out, I want to say 2 days ago, so I'm going to make it the 24th just to be safe. And the great thing about Google Sheets is you can actually grab this and drag it, so I can reorder the bills here because I try and keep everything in order of when it's coming out. So these are our bills currently. So now it has upped the total a little bit to $278. So I'm going to pop over here to our budget for the fortnight, and I'm going to pop in some basic first numbers. My spreadsheet is designed with digital cash envelopes in mind. So I will show you what I do on the actual like banking side of things after we've done the spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet just informs what I do with the banking side of things. And honestly, I don't change much fortnight to fortnight, which is how I like it. So I do have a couple things written down because normally I'd be looking them up on my phone, which I'm filming with. So our combined income was $3,985.48, which actually saying that out loud, that's insane. I'm very proud. So for a little bit of context, my husband works full-time and is currently on about $65,000 a year. I do this. So my income comes from side hustles, which I talk about a lot, especially on my short form content on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're interested in side hustles, definitely give me a follow over there. The links are always in the description. That's a very loud plane. Bye. So I do side hustles. My favorites are definitely market research and user testing and that kind of thing. I find them to be the most well paid for the least amount of time. So I do side hustles. I also earn money through affiliate links and things like that, because obviously I do have a following on social media, which I'm incredibly grateful for, and still a little bit in shock that it's a thing. I started TikTok at the end of 2023 as a creative outlet because I was just going through it, and here we are, and it's amazing. So thanks for being here, just by the way. So I earn money through social media, through affiliate links, through digital products that I sell, like my budget spreadsheet template, my meal planning Notion template, other like random referral links and affiliate links, and then through brand partnerships, which is something that I've just sort of started diving into mostly this year because I just did not have the time last year. So it's nice to actually have the time to be able to do it. And yeah, that's the reason that this pay is what it is, because I got paid actually for 2 brand partnerships. So this is the thing, my income is very inconsistent. It's not always going to look like this. More often than not, our combined pay is under $3,000 at the moment. It's generally between $2,600 and $3,000. That seems to be our average. I'm hoping to increase that now that I have more time to dedicate to all of this kind of stuff. To anyone that's ever bought any of my products or clicked any of my links, thanks. Honestly, this is life-changing for me, like truly life-changing. You have no idea. So anyway, getting on with the budgeting. So that's where I put the income in. And then a lot of this stuff very much stays the same. So what I focus on is this part here, savings. So I actually want to get that down to 0, which sounds counterintuitive, but I like operating off of a 0-based budget. And so savings is just kind of my like running total throughout the budget of how much I've got left to allocate. And currently the income and the spent is based on everything that's in here, as well as this here and this here. So bills and spending is the stuff that's very much changing, you know, week to week, fortnight to fortnight. So all of this stuff here, I pretty much never change. When winter hits, we'll be using our gas heater more than our air conditioner, so I'll probably swap the electricity and gas around. That's kind of it. Honestly, things don't really change here. The way that I have it set up is this bills account is the reason that we are able to pay our bills all the time. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, we'll see what bills are due and we'll fit them into this paycheck, because when you've lived paycheck to paycheck, and especially when you've had a low income and so your expenses have only just fit into your paycheck, you know that that's not going to work. And our budget definitely was created with a small paycheck in mind. And so that's why we just transfer half of everything every time I do the budget. And that also gives us a bit of a buffer, because obviously a lot of these bills are monthly, but we budget fortnightly, which technically is a little less than a little less than a month. 2 fortnights is a little less than a month. So all of this kind of stuff just stays the way that it is. So the standing fortnightly expenses comes from over here. So we've got our health insurance, which because it's not a monthly bill, I do put that in here instead of in the bills tracker. The electricity, gas, and water, I like to be able to just see these so that I can tweak the amounts if I get a bill and I notice that, oh, we're spending less, we're spending more, that kind of thing. I like to just keep it front of mind because it can change. Everything on our bills tracker is solid, set, fixed amounts. Things in here are less fixed. And if you wanted to just put an average of your electricity, your gas, all that into your bills tracker, the monthly page, you could absolutely do that. This is just what works for me, and it's foolproof. I've been doing this system for, I want to say, at least 3 years now. And before we were with Bank, we had a separate bills account with a different bank. So we banked with ING, had most of our digital cash envelopes and stuff with ING, which were just savings accounts. And then we had a bills account in NAB, and that we never saw. So I would just transfer this amount over to there every single fortnight, and everything just ran automatically. I never had to look at our bills account. I always knew there was enough money in there, and I've never gone wrong with it. There's never been any issues. Nothing has ever been overdrawn or anything like that. So it's foolproof. I've tested it. So this half of monthly bills just comes from the bills tracker. And so essentially this is the amount that we kind of need to be putting into our bills account every fortnight, right? However, we also want to make sure that we know exactly how much needs to be in the account max, because occasionally you'll factor in, let's say, $70 every fortnight for electricity, and you'll get a really low electricity bill, right? And so say you've got an extra $50 in that bills account, I would rather use that somewhere else than have it just sitting in the bills account when it's just not necessary, because I've got a buffer built in, all of that. So that's where this comes into play. So we've got the standing fortnightly expenses, which came from here. You can see what makes that up. And then we've got our fortnightly debt, which is down here. And then we have, on top of that, another half of the monthly bills, just so we know like the max that we need to have in the account at once, because obviously the actual month and the actual fortnight and when everything comes out, you know, it rolls, it changes. It's not always the exact first half of the month and the exact second half of the month. And I don't know about you, but a lot of our more expensive bills will just kind of come, especially when we had like big phone bills and big internet bills and stuff, they all came out like all at once. So sometimes you would need almost your entire bill fund in like one fortnight. You'd go through like 3/4 of it. So I like to know the total that I need. So it's made up of our standing fortnightly expenses, that has to be in there. Fortnightly debt, which also comes out of the bills account. Half monthly bills again, so we know the total for the month essentially. It's factoring in a whole month's worth of bills with that. And then a buffer. You can choose whatever buffer you want. $50 just makes me feel good, and it's always worked really well, so that's what I do. And so then every fortnight I will go and I will check how much is in the bills account, and I will put this amount here in. This is very important. And these all populate. So if you buy the spreadsheet, your boxes here will be red or like a pink sort of color, and those are the ones you know not to touch. They'll auto populate. So as you can see, I haven't touched any of this. So I know that this is the amount I need to transfer each fortnight into the bills account, and that's just to make sure we've got the buffer there, we've got the fortnightly debt covered, we've got our standing fortnightly expenses, which includes half of our monthly bills, plus we know that we've got enough that if all of the bills come out in this fortnight, we're going to be okay. So this figure here comes from these two, and so that's how much we transfer. So the standing fortnightly expenses and the fortnightly debt. But having these informs this. We know that we don't ever need more than $586.54 in that bills account. If we happen to have extra, then I just put that into savings. So scrolling down here, the fortnightly cash envelopes, that's the kind of stuff that can change. So if we've had a more expensive fortnight, or are going to have a more expensive fortnight for health. So if I had, for example, a rheumatologist appointment, that's $150 after the rebate. So then I would change that amount. But generally, these are the totals we stick with unless something changes. So for example, fuel has gone up a little bit, and we also have done a bit more driving than normal and actually need to put like 3/4 of a tank of fuel in. So I'm going to change, oh, that was pets. I'm going to change fuel to $80. Everything else I think is pretty fine. Health is sitting at a good amount, so I don't feel like I need to put extra in there. Groceries, again, we just put away, oh, that's really satisfying, isn't it? $1,700. Groceries I put away $300 every fortnight, and then every 4 or 5 weeks we take whatever is in our grocery savings account, move it to our grocery spending account, go and do our monthly grocery shop, and whatever's left we use for the top-up shops. And it just keeps accumulating that way. And then this is the other area that I might occasionally put things in. So, you know, this is like, because we're on a no buy year, obviously not a lot of stuff goes in here. But for example, when we need to buy laundry liquid, which actually I'm probably going to need to buy in the next budget. So now that I'm thinking about that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put laundry liquid. And I'm going to put, I think it's about $65. So I will now not forget that when I come in here. And if there's anything that needs buying, I do it on budget day, especially because no buy year, we're not buying anything that we don't need. This is how I handle that essentially. So I basically only order things online and stuff on budget days if I need to. So for example, last budget day I needed to get some like stain remover stuff that's going to last about 2 years, so that was there. The air filter, that was there. So yeah, if I was going to go get my hair cut, which I don't because I cut my own hair, but I'd put that in there. That kind of stuff, you know, if something broke and we needed to replace it and I knew about it, I'd put that in there. So then down here, this debt snowball category is actually one I've just added for this spreadsheet, and I'm very excited. We might actually get to use that, which is fun. Zip pay, we're just paying that off slowly. And then everything in here pretty much stays the same. So I am going to keep that furniture one paused for now, but this March sheet, this March sheet, I will take that off. And we're kind of saving for a freezer or a dining table set if I happen to see one when I'm like thrifting or something. So that's going to stay at $0. MISC, I try and have $20 in our MISC fund just generally all the time. And that's if, you know, something random and small breaks during the fortnight, we have somewhere to take that random unexpected thing that I didn't factor into the budget out of. but that is still sitting at $22. So I'm going to not put anything in there. And everything else is very much very strategic, basically. So we're aiming for $600 in July. So we've got $40 going in every fortnight. So I basically picked, I think, the last weekend in July, added up how many budgeting fortnights were between the start of when I started this fund and then divided the total, got $40, so I put 40 away. Same with the gifts. We've got allocated $100 each for our birthdays, and then I think about $100 each for Christmas as well. So that just keeps plugging away. Fun money, we just put $15 every fortnight, but that's specifically for going out, which now that I'm thinking about it, there's somewhere we want to go. Let me look at the calendar. Something we want to do on the 23rd. So there's only one more budget day between now and then. So I'll be putting another $30 in there. There's currently $40. That will get us $70. That should be fine. Because we want to go somewhere and it's going to cost $50 in tickets, which sucks. But we haven't been using our fun money. So that's good. Bulk groceries, again, we go every 3 to 4 months. I figured out an average of how much we spend, and so I just divided it between, I think, 13 weeks. I think 7 fortnights is roughly kind of what I divided that between, and we've got $31, so we just keep putting that away. Same with all of this, really. It's all pretty self-explanatory. You know, there's obviously some wiggle room because thrifting, I'm aiming for $30 a month, but I've put $15 away every 2 weeks. So technically it's probably $33 a month on average. But yeah, Hobonichi, again, very specific amount. We know it's due in September, so we've split it up. Same with Bridesmaid. And this is the other thing. When you're on a no buy year, it doesn't mean you don't ever spend money on anything, because if there's something that really matters to you and you want to make sure that you have money available for that, you can still do that. So Hobonichi, we're saving up and we'll make one purchase this year. Being a bridesmaid in September, a maid of honor for one of my best friends, and so that obviously matters, so I have a fund for that. But in my day-to-day life, we're still doing no buy year. And it's still impacting our spending habits, what we're spending, how we live our lives. We're always looking for free opportunities. We're always looking for free activities. We're always looking for free stuff on Facebook. We're still not spending money in our day-to-day life. It's really curbed the impulse spending, and that's the crux of it. It's not just about saving money. It's about changing the way that we live so that our habits are working for us. Our habits aren't going to be constantly just like a money sieve for the rest of our lives. But it doesn't mean you never spend money. You work hard, you deserve to have nice things, you deserve to be able to spend your money on things that matter to you, especially. So that's why we've got some money set aside for going on a small, very budget friendly, very cheap holiday, stuff like that. But it's all very focused. And so as you can see, the total for our sinking funds every fortnight is $183. And our emergency fund is also a sinking fund, and I'm super excited because we need $775.85 to fill it. It's finally going to be filled. It was actually only going to be $150, but we had to buy a washing machine in the last fortnight. But now I can scroll up here and go, okay, I still have $198.49 left. So that is going to go here. What was it, 49 cents? So that's how the spreadsheet works. I hope that this is making sense. Essentially, I start at the top, I put the income in. None of this really changes. Most of this here doesn't change. If anything, it's just tweaking things by $20 to $30. Any other missed spending we need to factor in goes here. So the Vodafone bill is our final bill to pay out our final plan, and then we're going to be fully paid out on prepaid, owning our phones outright. This is the first time in 12 years that I will have owned my phone outright and not be on a plan. Big things are happening. So yeah, and then I just go in here, and mostly what was getting tweaked was the emergency fund. All of this stays pretty much the same. And then from here on, it's just this debt snowball. So I actually need to kind of have a think about what I want to do with that, like what our tactic is going to be, and actually like double check what our debt amounts are, because I definitely think debt snowball is the best way to go. I know some people do an avalanche, which I think is going for the highest debt first. We're going for the smallest debt and getting as many things paid off as possible. So I think the first debt will be Afterpay. We've never been here before. To be quite honest with you, we've never had a fully funded emergency fund and had money to voluntarily put on debt. We've never been here. We've never made it. Look, we've got Vodafone and your uni fees factored in.
Oh, sweet.
Emergency fund is officially going to be full. Thank you.
Fantastic.
And there's still 198.48 left, which is insane. Do you realize we've never been here?
Go again.
We've never been here. We've never had a fully funded emergency fund and had money to put into debt voluntarily.
That's impressive.
Isn't that cool?
That is great.
I'm so proud.
You should be.
Actually, ow, I just scratched myself.
Oh, are you going to bleed? Are you going to give yourself another scar?
Okay, so now, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to show you my phone while I do this. So we're going to rearrange a bit. As I transfer everything, I just go in and I make the box green, so I know I've done it. Even this one. Ooh. Oh! As you can see, I have made an error. Okay, so like I said, we've never been here before, so I'm going to say fortnightly debt, mandatory payments. And then this, I'm going to cut, and I'm probably going to put it here in our sinking funds. So I'm going to insert a row, and I'm going to put it there. But I'm going to make this bold and make it a different color. What color should I make it? Okay, so like I said, then I just make that green as I transfer things. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset that because I haven't done that yet. And we're going to rearrange a little bit, and I'm gonna start filming on Matt's phone and use my phone for all the transfers. Okay, so I've got my phone here and I'm just going to set it to screen record. Excellent. And I've got my spreadsheet here. So these are all of our savers accounts, and the way that we handle the whole inconsistent income thing is I just transfer all of our pay into here. Matt actually gets paid every week at the moment. Previously it's been every fortnight, and I've just preferred to budget every fortnight. So when we get paid, it goes in here, and then every second Thursday I budget. So from here, I just go ahead and do the budget. So first, I generally start first with the fortnightly cash envelopes. So, and I'm going to do into grocery savings, 300. And I don't bother labeling these transactions because it's just going from pay to the savings account or the sinking fund kind of thing. So these are all of our digital cash envelopes, by the way. I probably should have given you a better overview, but you can see we've got my car, grocery savings, bills as well. And I've also got that 580 amount there. So now that I need 586, I'm going to change the saver amount that I need. I'm just going to call it 587, just round it up a little bit. And then again, it's going to just clearly tell me when I've hit that goal, so to speak. Groceries, health, fuel. You can kind of see all of our different, essentially cash envelopes, but digital cash envelopes in here, and they're all savings accounts. Some of them, like you can see here, we've got goals on there, and I like the little progress bar. Some of them we don't, so because it doesn't really matter how much is in there, because I've kind of already done the math. But we're not aiming for a specific amount, we just kind of want to have enough for what we need. So anyway, now from here, let's actually transfer. So I've done grocery savings, so I will make that green. Next, we're going to do pets. That is 70. Make that green. Next, we're going to do 300 to health. Make that green. And then fuel 80, green. My car, which saves for any services, rego. I had to get a new battery a while back, so I did that. I had to get a new tire, so I did that. So it's definitely got quite a buffer built into the amount that I transfer. Another plane. That one green, and then finally rent, which is $8.80 now. Our rent just went up, so oops. Here we go. I do have $1.84 in there of interest, but I'm just gonna leave that for now. Next I'll do the bills. So $397.54. Here we go. Emergency fund, 775.85. Oh, this is exciting. That's exciting. We're gonna look at that in a second. Okay, holiday. The other thing that's just like a little random handy thing is I get like a haptic feedback thing when it's like actually completed, so I can just kind of set it to transfer. If it takes a second because the internet's being slow, that's completely fine. I can just press it and I'll know when it's actually completed. And I can set it green on the spreadsheet in the meantime. Fun. I feel like I should have put some of that bulk groceries money into groceries. The other day we did a Costco order and most of it was normal groceries, but one or two things was kind of borderline. So spending money. I'm playing catch up a little bit because the goal is to have $30 each at the end of February, and I did the math wrong on that, so yes. Thrifting, I still have $16.85 in there. That's pretty cool. And so, like I said, I'm skipping MISC because that's already got money in it. So then Hobonichi. Bridesmaid. I don't anticipate actually needing $500, which is what I'm saving. But better safe than sorry, you know what I mean? Okay, so from here we've got the Vodafone payment, so I'm going to just put that into bills for now, and that's definitely going to max out our bills account, but that's fine because this is a one-off bill. I will actually label that one. And you'll be able to see in real time how long this actually takes. Obviously I'm talking a lot more than I usually would, so normally I'd say this takes me about 10 minutes to do all of this because so little of the spreadsheet actually needs changing. Okay, so this I'm going to put in the 2UP because that's our joint account and Matt has access to that, so he can then go ahead and pay. Okay, and then all we have left is the amount to put in the debt snowball, and I don't know what to do with that right now. I think I will make a new saver. Making a snowman. I don't need a goal. And then I think I'm going to put that 198.48 just in there for now. And then have a think about it. Because I think Afterpay will be the next one that we pay off, so I may want to just put that amount towards it. I don't know. Yeah, this is new. Anyway, as you can see, this is how everything is looking now. At the moment, our emergency fund is fully funded, which is so exciting. We've got half our rent. Yeah, everything in here is pretty standard. So that's it. That's my budgeting system. If this is the kind of thing that you like, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions, any other aspects you'd like me to talk about, or anything you want to see, I really am quite an open book for the most part. I really have appreciated other people who have made this kind of content and been so open with their finances, because it's really helped me to learn. And also, even if I haven't ended up doing exactly what other content creators were doing or what other budgeting gurus were doing, it still helped me to figure out what actually would work for me and what would actually work for us. And that is no small thing. So that's why I'm throwing my hat in the ring, so to speak. That's why I share everything that I share. Also because we've definitely started at a pretty low income. At one point last year, our main income was just my husband's income, which was the $65,000 that he's currently on. And I was earning maybe an extra 100 or 2 a fortnight with side hustles, and that was kind of it. So I feel like that definitely is quite a low income. It's hard. It's a hard amount to make work. I've not really seen a lot of content from people in our financial position, and that may be just that I haven't seen it, but I still think it's really good to have a lot of different things out there that you see, you know, a lot of different creators at different points in their journey. And, you know, we don't own a home, we're paying off our debt, all that kind of stuff. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to grab the budget spreadsheet or you want to check out Upbank, the links are in the description. If you did enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate if you would give it a big old thumbs up, because that really helps support the channel and helps me know what kind of stuff you actually like, which is good, because then I can make more of it. You know? Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.